I'm dog sitting right now, and this dog gets lonely, so I'm letting her hang out with me. So if you hear a dog just trotting around throughout this video, it's Maddie. Here she is. Hey, what's up everybody? My name's Adam, you're watching PictureLocked, and today we are doing another episode of Review, this time focusing on the Safdie Brothers' new film, which is called Uncut Gems and stars Mr. Adam Sandler. Wild. Oh, yes? Oh, yeah? What do you hear, bitch? What do you... Yes? Okay, jeez. Oh, okay. What a terrible movie. Unlikable protagonist and slow plot, topped off with a pathetic ending. I regret wasting 3 hours of my life having been fooled by the paid-off/pretentious critics. Don't waste your time like me. Protagonists don't always need to be likable. Also, if you thought this movie was slow, I do not want to watch what you think a fast movie would be, because this was just like everything happening all the time for the entire movie. There was not a single moment where it was slow. I've seen multiple reviews that say this, and I do not understand how you can think this is a slow movie. It's wild. It had too much foul language. It was so loud, and it actually raised our blood pressure. The storyline was lost in the noise and foul language. We left before it was over and got cards for us to come back and see a different movie at a future time. The movie should come with a warning for those who have blood pressure or heart problems. I agree. This maybe should come with a warning for anyone with heart problems, because it will keep your heart rate elevated the entire time, because it's a good movie, and that's what a good thriller should do. This is another thing that I saw a lot of in the reviews. So many people cite the fact that it had too much profanity as their reason for disliking it, which, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of profanity, but I feel like the dialogue in this movie is one of its strong suits. It feels very, very realistic most of the times, and it doesn't dumb itself down at all. I also just don't think that it was that profane compared to a lot of other things I've seen recently. Very slow, loud, and just really all over the place. I love Adam Sandler. I love Adam Sandler, but my fiancé and I couldn't even make it to the end. We left after almost the 2 hours. I love going to see Adam Sandler movies with my fiancé. Little to no redeeming qualities in any of the central characters, also obnoxiously long. So I agree and disagree. I think a lot of these characters don't have any redeemable qualities, but I don't necessarily think that's a problem. It's okay to tell stories about bad people. At the same time though, I think that Howard, the main character, played by Adam Sandler, actually does have some redeeming moments that can make us want to root for him even though he's a bad guy. For example, there's one scene where his fish are about to get murdered. A dude dumps some ink in his fish tank, and the terror on this dude's face and him trying to take care of his fish showed that he actually does have emotions.
Come here, I got you. There you go. There you go. I got you, sweetheart. Joni, please get some more glasses.
There weren't any happy parts or scenes that made you feel good. I was stressed the entire movie and even more annoyed by the ending. Why would you go see a thriller like this if you wanted to see a happy movie? Oh, I only go to movies to feel good. I don't like any other emotion that a movie can possibly elicit in me. The background music is so annoying. It's like, we get it. You want to be intense and oppressing, but shut the fuck up. I love the score in this movie. It's so unique, yet it fits so well. Like, it's not the normal orchestral, boomy, soundtrack that you get with thrillers like this. It's sort of light and synthy, but it somehow fits so well, and I love it a lot. The worst Adam Sandler film I've seen, not worth seeing in theaters.
Oh, will you stop already? You know all he wants to do is play Twister with your sister.
Have you seen any Adam Sandler movies, bro? I thought it was the worst movie I've ever seen. I thought it had nothing, a stupid story, obnoxious characters, loud, too close up, like a 2-year-old held the camera, just so bad. Again, the way this movie is shot is not for everyone, but I don't think you can deny that it's impressive from a technical standpoint. They shoot pretty much wide open on the aperture the entire time, so the depth of field is very shallow, which adds to that sort of claustrophobic feel, and they also shoot handheld. Pulling focus with that shallow depth of field at a 1/8 is ridiculously difficult, and there's a little bit of soft focus here and there, but they nailed it for the most part. If you know a baby who can pull focus at a 1/8, boom, baby, you got, well, not a boom baby, because they wouldn't be operating the boom, they'd be pulling the focus. That was a terrible joke. I'm sorry, I'll see myself out. Had to reschedule, sorry, says Latrice. I feel like Latrice was trying to send an email to a gem salesman, and they weren't quite sure how to do it, so they just typed gems into Google and then clicked the first thing that came up and posted in the first text field that they could find. I hated this movie and walked out after 1 hour. The casting was superb, showing 47th Street in Manhattan in true form. But the filming was terrible. The diction awful with several people talking at the same time, and the language revealed that the screenplay writer only knew one word and it begins with F. It's frog. He only knows frog. So I think this movie is incredibly well shot, but I can totally understand that it's not for everyone. The Safdie Brothers have a pretty claustrophobic style with a lot of handheld shots and a lot of close-ups, and just so much movement going on all at the same time. That, coupled with the fact that the dialogue is written in a very realistic way with lots of people talking over each other, and it can be a pretty jarring claustrophobic experience some of the time. And in a thriller, being claustrophobic and making you feel tense and like you're trapped is a good thing, and it's what they were intending. So I'd consider that a success. Awful movie, a waste of my time, gave me a twitch. Adam Sandler. It was one of the worst movies we have seen ever. You know it as a dog when you see the few who showed up for the flick exiting in the middle of the show. This one is a stinker and will likely be available for free on cable channels. That's a good review, just because I'm going to start using the word stinker to describe movies all the time. Also, a lot of great movies end up for free on cable networks. Like, it's not uncommon for, like, super classic, excellent movies to air for free on cable. I don't understand how that's criticism. Some might describe this movie as intense. I'd say highly anxious and chaotic, felt like I was living the emotional/mental breakdown. A good thriller should make you feel like you're in the situation, make you feel like you are living the mental breakdown. I don't know why this is a 2-star review. If it made you live the situation, then it did a good job, right? That's what movies are supposed to do. Hated this movie, voted with my feet and left. What did you vote on? Who did you vote for? What are you talking about? How do you vote with your feet? Why did you do that before you leave the theater? I have so many questions. Don't waste your time. This movie simply isn't very good. The story seems hastily thrown together, and the sound seems like it was filmed on a phone. I just kept waiting for it to end so we could leave the theater. Throughout the first 20 or so minutes of this film, I was also a little confused by the sound because it just wasn't quite right. But I quickly realized that what they were doing was they were mixing all of the dialogue in 5.1, at least for the hectic scenes where lots of people were talking over each other.
I like the earrings.
You like this?
Those are great.
I was coming here checking out some
When's the
movies,
last
man.
time you cleaned them?
Talking about.
Let me clean this for
He
you.
can clean them real
Let me
quick.
throw them in the ultrasonic for you for free.
What's this gonna cost
okay?
me?
For free.
For real? Sure.
I would think you'd have bigger rocks than this. Just because you're a big guy.
That's what we here.
Okay.
See what y'all got.
When mixing 5.1, we usually put the dialogue in the center channel, just so that it's always there and super clear. But because a lot of the scenes are so hectic here, it would get real muddy if they left it all in the center channel, so they decided to actually position dialogue in 3D space, which is super cool. It's a little jarring at first, but within half an hour into the movie, I stopped noticing it completely, and I would say it actually made it a more immersive experience. That's a creative choice, not a mistake, and you absolutely could not do it on a phone. You denied me from going. You owe me free tickets. I went there and could not open my tickets to watch this movie. Again, I think this person is trying to reach out to Fandango or some shit, but they don't know where to do that, so they're just like, I'll go post an angry review. Okay, so I went to see this movie having in my head that Adam Sandler could make a serious movie that would be good, knowing he's a funny guy. Well, this movie to me sucked. It was bad, bowing. Too long for no reason. Too much back and forth scenarios. You didn't know what was who for what reason. Too much of everything and too little explanation. Part of what I love so much about this movie is that it absolutely refused to hold any of our hands throughout any of the movie, and that does make for some situations where you're like, okay, wait, where am I? What's happening? You have to orient yourself really quick because the movie is not going to do it for you. But I appreciate that. I really like it when a movie just lets me be smart on my own and not have to remind me who these characters are every time I see them, or what's happening whenever it starts happening. I just want to be able to figure it out, and that's part of what I love about this movie so much. A total piece of shit. Plenty of cursing, black culture, and needless violence. Don't waste your time or your money. I left halfway through, says Paul. Paul, my man, why did you group black culture in with the other things that you don't like? Are you saying because it displays black culture that it's bad? Are you, Paul, are you being a little racist over here? Come on, Paul. Monk says, stinker of a movie, like The Sopranos on bad acid. This is the second person to describe this movie as a stinker. Is this a film term that I'm not aware of? Also, I would absolutely watch The Sopranos on bad acid. That sounds like a wild time. And it's actually sort of an accurate description of this movie. Felt like an utter waste of my time throughout. Slow pace with very little point, no humor whatsoever outside of Sandler's character filming his bit on the side from within a closet, teasing her playfully about what she's wearing. There was no character development, leading to an ending where you just don't care what happens. Biggest takeaway of the movie, gambling bad. Something most people already know and don't need a movie to tell them. Not that this movie does such a good job of it anyway. This is an interesting review because he says that there's no character development, yet also references a scene where they are definitely, developing Howard's character in a meaningful way. It's a weird scene. Howard is watching his girlfriend from the closet. She doesn't know he's there. It sort of shows his lack of boundaries a little bit. It's a good scene, but the one thing that it's not is funny. The movie is funny sometimes, but mostly just because of the situations that Howard finds himself in. I guess you could watch it as a dark comedy, but for the most part, it's just like a thriller. Also, if your biggest takeaway from this movie is just gambling bad, then you missed the point, I feel like, because yes, we all know that gambling is bad, yet there are still people with gambling addictions. That's kind of why this is an interesting character study, is because most people don't understand this mindset of gambling on every single part of your life, which is what Howard does throughout the whole movie. So yeah, it's interesting, and there's a lot more to it than that. Screaming is not acting. Disagree. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I feel like it's actually hard to very convincingly scream as an actor. For a movie not even released yet, the audience score is very fishy. My score is neutral until I see it. Thanks, James. You're really definitely doing God's work over here. Just reviewing movies that you haven't seen yet so that the rest of us will know nothing. The actors continually talked over each other, lost interest in the movie. So the dialogue in this movie can be a little bit jarring because a lot of times there are multiple characters screaming over each other. But I actually really enjoy dialogue written like that because when there's a bunch of people in a room talking, they're not just going to talk one by one as if it's an Avengers film. They're likely going to talk over each other. That's how real conversations sound, and when films can pull it off properly, I actually find that kind of impressive. This was the worst movie we have seen in years. I am not a prude, but the F word was used more times than I could count. Adam Sandler should be ashamed to have been associated with such a piece of trash. Yeah, Adam Sandler just takes so much pride in the movies he's in, and he chooses the scripts that he works with so carefully. Of course, this is the movie that he should be ashamed to be in. I didn't see the point to the movie other than what our society is becoming. It's a sad day in filmmaking. What happened to true film? Even if you don't like a movie like this, it's ridiculous to say that it is a sad day in filmmaking when a unique original idea gets turned into a well-shot, well-produced, well-acted film. I don't know, man. I'm so tired of all of these movies that look the same and feel the same and tonally are the same and they sound the same. It's a great day for filmmaking when a new film that has its own vibe like this gets made. I don't know what you're talking about. No plot, horrible movie, too much currying. Thanks, Heather. That's very insightful. I really appreciate that one. Also, so many people say this movie has no plot. The plot is just the series of events. If anything happens in a movie, it has a plot. You don't necessarily have to like the plot, but it has a plot. That saying it doesn't have a plot means that you didn't watch the movie, or you couldn't follow literally a single thing that happened in the movie. That's not valid criticism. Please stop putting that in your Rotten Tomatoes reviews. Wow, that was a bad movie. Oof. And Adam Sandler is generating Oscar buzz? Just goes to show how terrible the Oscars has become as well. No wonder they are losing their audiences. Again, I'm not necessarily sure that Adam Sandler deserves a Best Actor nomination for this, but I think the fact that this movie didn't get nominated for anything is more indicative of why the Oscars are going downhill. The fact that Joker got fucking 11 nominations and this didn't get nominated for anything is wild. Yeah, that's why the Oscars are going downhill. The language was terrible and offensive. We left and we're not the first to do so. Our row of 8 had only 3 left when we left. Is this a thing that actually happens? I see a lot of movies and I almost never notice people walking out. Like every other review is like, I walked out and so did half the theater, but I never see that happen. The last time I can remember that happening is at the end of BlacKkKlansman. Some old white dude walked out because he was a racist, I suppose. But yeah, I've never walked out of a movie. Do you guys walk out of movies? Do you notice people walking out of movies? This can't be as common a thing as everyone on Rotten Tomatoes seems to make it out to be. The last A24 production movie I will ever watch. Terrible and want my money back. Warn your friends, please. A24 has been killing it for years and has an extremely diverse catalog of films. If you were gonna cut yourself off from all A24 films just because you didn't like this one, you're missing out. You are making a bad mistake. There was no dialogue. The F word several times each sentence. Plot might have been decent, left after 45 minutes. It might have been decent, but you didn't stick to the end, yet you still felt you could review it. I don't understand when people review movies and they didn't finish the movie. Like, there are some movies that are bad through, like, the first 2 acts and then, like, redeem themselves a little bit in the 3rd act. You don't know. Maybe this had, like, a fucking Casablanca ending. You don't know, dude. Why'd they make Gold Emperor back? Very not exciting. Yeah, I don't know whose idea it was to put Emperor Palpatine in this movie. Like, they clearly just did not have a plan from the beginning because this was never mentioned or hinted at or anything. Palpatine just suddenly is there. I don't know. They clearly did not have any plan from the beginning. And in the end, they were just like, ah, shit, fucking Rian Johnson killed off the antagonist we were going to use. So I guess we'll just grab fucking Emperor Palpatine because he's a baddie that I guess could maybe feasibly still be alive. Ah, fuck, that's Star Wars, ain't it? Quick note from editing, Adam. The next 2 reviews are going to be massive spoilers. So if you have any desire to watch this movie, please skip to right here. I warned you. You got 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. Didn't like the ending. He finally was winning, and they killed him. Even after the hired hoodlum witnesses it for themselves. Sad. I love the ending of this movie. It would have been really dumb if Mr. Howard had just gotten away with everything. This is absolutely what needed to happen to him in the end. That's what the whole movie is about, how you can't do this shit. You can't gamble with every aspect of your life. And if he just got away with it in the end, would have been fucked up. Also, I think it makes perfect sense that the goons just went ahead and killed him. They aren't gonna get any of that money. They're just hired goons, and they were locked in that room for, like, multiple hours. Of course they're gonna be infuriated. Also, they're in a perfect situation to just rob the place, so they could get a quick payoff anyway. So I think it makes perfect sense, and the people who are saying the ending doesn't make sense, it would have made no sense if he had just been allowed to be fine. What are you talking about? This movie was amazing, creative, and interesting until the awful and horrible ending to ruin the whole movie, says Armin. Did you really want Howard to win? Howard is not a good guy. He doesn't do good things throughout this movie. I'm not saying that he's, like, not sympathetic at all. As I've said, I think there are redeeming moments for him. But I don't understand people who thought that the ending didn't make sense or wasn't satisfying, because Howard did not deserve to win. He didn't deserve to get what he wanted out of the situation. Okay, that's all the reviews I've got for you today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you have any other movies that you want me to do reviews on, or if you are digging through reviews for a movie and you find an especially funny one. Be sure to send that to me because I could include that in a future video or something. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter for more movie recommendations because I'm going to start doing that over there. And follow me on Twitch if you want to watch me play video games. I'm putting it down because those things are in the description, but I was doing it in a weird way. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Sayonara. This is Maddie. She's the best pooch in the world. Oh, you licked in my nose, bro. Why'd you do that, dude? Ah! Maddie, say goodbye. Do not lick my nose again. You bastard. Say goodbye to the boys. You fucking suck at outros, bro.